Well, guys, that was ugly, wasn't it? Yeah. I've been battling overheating issues all night on the heat race. Just in the, what, 6, 8 laps, whatever it was. That was already at like 245 degrees, and I knew that the main event was going to be a problem for me. I went back to the pits and checked it out and made sure I had full of water and all the things you would normally do to check for everything. And I mean, the radiator wasn't that warm, so I wasn't too concerned. But I mean, I was concerned. But there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it that night, to remedy the situation. Just hope that the evening had cooled down enough, because it was really the hottest day of the year so far, actually, in Washington State. And was hoping the evening would cool it down enough just to get me by the 20 laps that I needed to finish out the main event. Well, it didn't work out that way. So I knew by lap 8 I was in trouble. I was already at 240 degrees, and it was climbing like a missile up, to beyond red line. I put it in my head that if it gets to 270, I'm shutting it off, And by lap 11, I think it was, I had hit the 270 threshold, still climbing, and I was trying to bail. You see me wave my hand up, like I was trying to make that right-hand turn to get off the track. And as soon as I let my foot off the gas, you saw the eruption there. It hemorrhaged water everywhere, and it was a big eruption, and kind of interesting. So this is new to LS stuff, I think, or, well, let me rephrase that. This would be a new problem that you wouldn't normally see on a small block Chevrolet, Ford, etc., because they don't have this, where LS engines do. And check this out. So, the water pump. When I let off the gas, it pressure spiked the cooling system. And when it did, it blew this cover out of the back of the water pump. And it let out massive amounts of water and steam. And you saw it blinded me. I missed my turn because I couldn't see to stop and make the right-hand turn. So that screwed me. And I had to get pushed off the track, etc., But all things said and done, it's actually not horrible. So, I mean, I have a couple water pumps up in the loft I could put on it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just right stuff this back in place and drill in. Before I do it, though, I'm going to drill and tap 4 holes in this housing, and it'll probably break through into the water area. I'm not worried. I'll just seal the bolts with red Loctite. I'm just going to use number 10, 24 thread pitch bolts, and I'm going to put them here, 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 and here, and then I'm going to notch the flanges on this and cover the flange with the washer to hold that back in place again if it ever does do a pressure spike, and that should remedy the problem. LS gaskets all reusable, man. That's nice. And then no gasket scraping and getting out razor blades and crap for having to do the small block Chevrolet paper gasket crap. So yeah, just use these on reuse those forever. So to remedy the overheating situation, I'm still a little bit scratching my head, but so my old motor up there, I was running about a 90% reduction, or let me rephrase that, 10% reduction on the water pump to crank pulley. So the water pump pulley, I believe, is like 6.5 inches, and I was running like a 6-inch pulley on the crank. And I thought, well, before it was running at like 240, I needed to maybe slow it down some more. I tried that with this new pulley. You can see it right there. It's a 4-inch diameter pulley, so I figured that'd be like a 25% reduction over the roughly 6-inch water pump pulley, and or 20%, something like that. I have to do the math, dumb. But anyway, and it made it worse, a hell of a lot worse. So what I'm going to do now is throw the old shit back on it, the stock harmonic balancer. It'll actually overdrive the water pump slightly. And we'll see what that does. It's kind of an experiment, but it can't get any worse from here. So we're gonna try to do that and see what it does. I mean, I put this monster radiator in it over the winter, and that thing's a monster. I had to notch the frame rails and stuff to make it fit. And the first clue that the water pump wasn't doing its job is when I got back to the pits, got it running again, and filled it with water, got it warmed up or whatever after the heat race before it blew up catastrophically. And with the cooling fan on, it was blowing like lukewarm air, like the water in the radiator was not hot, which tells me that the water pump is not cycling water through the motor fast enough. That water in the radiator should be pretty damn hot, at least in some areas, but not cool everywhere, right? So I think it's just not circulating water fast enough is what it boils down to. So on that note, I guess, that's the plan. As far as performance, let me get back to, was it a good decision to do all this? Holy crap, it makes way more power. It's so snappy coming off the corners. Good news. Bad news is, you guys see it, I'm having traction problems coming off the corner. I got my tire pressures set as about as low as I can go in the back. I'm at like 9 on the right rear, 8.5 on the left rear, 8 in the left front, and 10 in the right front. The car's cornering really well. Drives into the corner. I was actually able to reel in guys going into the corner, just trying to come off the corner and keep the damn thing planted. That was a challenge. Last year with the heavier flywheel and a little less power, obviously, I could just about mat the car coming off the corner, and it would just stick it and go. But I would watch people drive away from me, Now I definitely have the power. I'm able to keep up with most everybody, and it would be even better if I was able to put the tire to the ground. So, always a learning curve, and with LS engines, it's a steep learning curve, I guess, because nobody's doing it. That's kind of the reason why I'm making these videos, is because when I went to go do this myself, I researched it online as far as what have people done, and man, there just ain't shit out there for people doing LS stuff in dirt tracks or stock cars, really a whole lot for that matter, anything. But especially dirt track stuff. I mean, I know because it's rules and blah, blah, blah. Our rules are pretty lax. I'm not going to say that, yeah, we can go do this and everybody should go do it. But I'm kind of getting away with it right now. It might change. I don't know. But races around me are kind of warming up to the idea about it. They like what they see, and I'm not out there lapping the field, obviously. So until that happens, I guess they're not going to give two shits about it, right? But we'll see how it plays out throughout the year. But as far as power, man, I tell you what, it's got it in spades. It really delivers the mail. I'm really, really digging the new deal. Funny fact though, when the tech inspector was looking at the car, just glancing at it, he saw the 3.5-inch LCD screen on the steering column, and he's like, "Hey, what is that? Is that a backup camera or a camera? What do you got going on there?" I was like, "No, that's my gauges." He goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine." So I just left it at that. I didn't say anything more, and we'll see how it plays out, but. It does still run, guys. It looked catastrophic, but it still pops off. This thing got to 270 degrees. That's a lot to be said for the multi-layer steel head gaskets, I suppose. I won't know for sure if it's really not hurt until I get water back into it to make sure it doesn't turn it into a geyser, but I'm pretty confident it's okay. I'll keep you guys posted. I should have it all back together again in another week or so. Work, family stuff comes first, kind of, but I'll be ready to go for the next race. See you then.